Okay, I'll call the meeting to order. Resolution 237. All councillors are in attendance. Colin Reisner, Foreman, and Ken Murray, Fire Chief, are here as well. I need a mover and a seconder. Gary and Leanne, all in favor? Carried. Approval of the agenda. Resolution 238, be it resolved that the meeting agenda for regular council meeting of June 17, 2025 be accepted as presented. Mover and seconder. Derek, seconded by Leanne, all in favor? Carried. Number 3, approval of previous meeting minutes.
There's 2 sets.
Questions? Not, I'll read the resolution. Resolution 239, be it resolved that the meeting minutes of the regular meeting of council on June 3rd, 2025 be approved as presented. Mover and seconder. Ken, seconded by Gail, all in favor? Carried. Resolution 240, minutes of the Committee of the Whole on June 16th. Be it resolved that the meeting minutes of the Committee of the Whole meeting on June 16th, 2025 be approved as presented. Mover and seconder. Gary, seconded by Dan. All in favor? Carried. Number 4, delegations, there are none. Number 5, fire protection services. Our monthly report from our fire chief.
Yeah, it was a pretty quiet month, I guess, here. On June the 1st, we had a call responding to it was a rekindling of a prior permitted burn about 3 months previous. Department members extinguished the fire and then remediated potential rekindling areas. On May 28th, the department received a request from the Office of the Fire Commissioner to the Swan Valley Mutual Aid District for any available firefighters and apparatus that could assist fighting fires in Flin Flon. 5 a.m. the next morning, 6 members of our crew and a new pumper truck deployed to Flin Flon, where they spent 5 days conducting value protection of the property, extinguishing hotspots, structural firefighting, and other tasks. The members and pumper truck were then rotated out and will redeploy if called upon. On May 27th, our department received a letter of appreciation from the FOG for providing firefighting assistance. Training, again, our training session that was scheduled for May 28th was turned into a fire department preparation for the deployment to Flin Flon. And on June 12th, we met and members practiced using the recently purchased high volume nozzle to be used for structural firefighting. And recruitment efforts are still ongoing with efforts focused on the Bowsman Hall.
Flon Creek, does it look like it's simmering down, Ken?
Yeah. They just said today that it's still gonna be probably a week or so, week, 10 days, maybe longer, all depends on the weather.
Okay.
They did a thermal imaging of 350 acres around Flin Flon in one particular area, and there was still 350 hot spots in the 350 acres that they did a drone. Yeah, so, and there's still a lot of feed there because the fire went through so quick and didn't burn everything, so there is a potential that it could still increase issues unless they get some rain, so.
Okay.
But hopefully soon, so.
All right.
Yeah.
Are there any other questions for our fire chief? If not, I'll read the resolution 241. Be it resolved that the Fire Protective Services Report, June 17, 2025, be accepted as presented. We are in a seconder. Derek, seconded by Clint. All in favor? Carried. 5.2.1 to move into camera. Resolution 242. Be it resolved that pursuant to section 1523 of the Municipal Act, council should meet as a committee as a whole to close the meeting and continue discussion in camera regarding investigation and enforcement of an act or bylaw. Pursuant to section 83(1)D, council members shall keep in confidence a matter discussed at a meeting closed to the public under subject section 1523 until the matter is discussed at a meeting conducted in public. Pursuant to section 94(1)H, a council member becomes disqualified for breaching the requirement of confidentiality under clause 83(1)D. Time 6:07. A mover and a seconder. Leanne, seconded by Gary. All in favor? Carried. Resolution 243, be it resolved that pursuant to section 1524 of the Municipal Act, this meeting shall be reopened to the public at 6:43. Mover and seconder. Ken, seconded by Clint. All in favor? Carried.
Good night.
Good night,
Good night, Ken. Next on the agenda, 5.3, our CMP crime report.
Does it appear in town that anybody's noticing, it says damage to property? It seems to be climbing a bit steadily there, so. Anything heard out there or noticed by you guys?
Just regular apartment out, so they're outside.
More activity, I guess, eh?
I think so, yeah.
And that would make sense with the cool months and numbers there to where we are now. Yeah, total calls are, yeah. A little bit more too, and that makes sense, the warm weather.
Any other comments regarding the report?
Nothing.
No GIS talk, nothing going on.
No communications either, so, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I'm good with that then.
If none, I'll read the resolution 244. Be it resolved that the May 2025 Municipality Minitonas-Bowsman and Swan Valley Region RCMP Crime Statistics Report be accepted as presented. Mover and seconder. Leanne, seconded by Derek. All in favor? Carried. Public Works, 6.1, Foreman's report.
Okay, I don't think I had anything I wanted to add on the top of my head, but if there's any questions.
How was the Golden Mix asphalt stuff this year? Similar to last year?
Yeah,
Paul?
very similar, good
Oh,
stuff.
good quality. Okay. Thank you. On the 200, Colin, did we ever get that pump and final drive on order?
They're ordered, yes.
They're ordered, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I think Mechanica's left town for a little while, so.
Yeah, that's what I thought, probably.
What a grass cutting, does that include trimming at the earlier school? 'Cause some of that in, like, around the front steps and stuff, it was like a foot high or better.
Was it just not done lately?
Like, well, when I was there for the COPP meeting, what's his name, Kevin, was talking about maybe just doing it himself.
Oh, yeah. no,
Madsen?
As soon as we get the summer students, we'll get them on
That's
that.
kind of what I figured, but I'd throw it out there.
Yep, we need them badly.
Was there a concern with the water tank at the cemetery?
Oh, yeah, I mentioned it earlier, but yeah, it needs a hose to fill the watering cans, because it's just,
The valve?
yeah, the valve, and it's hard to get it in there, and then it's dipping in the middle a wee bit way before it goes right to the ground level.
Any other questions for our foreman?
Not from you there.
Hearing none, I will read the resolution 245. Be it resolved that the Public Works and Utilities Report, June 17, 2025, be accepted as presented. Move to seconder. Gary, seconded by Deanne. All in favor? Carried. Moving to finance. Accounts payable. Was that one, was it removed?
That's there.
118?
Yeah, that's right. That's one.
I like it.
Yeah, just read out says.
Any questions regarding the tables? Hearing none, I'll read the resolution then. Resolution 246. Be it resolved that the accounts payable checks 14075 to 14129 in the amount of $87,258.13, with the exception of check 14118 in the amount of $241.50, be accepted as presented and approved for payment. Move to the seconder. Gary, seconded by Derek, all in favor? Carried. 7.1.2 payroll. Any questions, comments? None? Then I'll read the resolution 247. Be it resolved that the payroll pay period 12, 2025, for the period from May 24th to June 6, 2025, in an amount of $28,988.49, be accepted as presented and approved for payment. Mover and seconder. Leanne, seconded by Gail. All in favor? Carried. Seven point two, financial operations.
Just had one question, Trevor. I see our 2025 actuals. Is that against the preliminary budget or the full budget at this point?
So the 2025 actuals are the amounts that are actually showing in our trial balances as of May 31st.
Okay.
So these are basically what's been posted to date.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some of them, like for example, tax levy grants in lieu, we won't see those dollars come in until those statements are sent out.
Mhm.
We start receiving payments.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions? I'll read the resolution then, 248. Be it resolved that the year-to-date statement of financial operations, general operations, January 1st to May 31st, 2025, be accepted as presented. Further, be it resolved that the year-to-date statement of financial operations, Minitonas Utilities, January 1st to May 31st, 2025, be accepted as presented. Further, be it resolved that the year-to-date statement of financial operations, Bowsman Utilities, January 1st to May 31st, 2025, be accepted as presented. Further, be it resolved that the account balances report, June 16, 2025, be accepted as presented. Mover and seconder. Gary, seconded by Ken. All in favor? Carried. Next, 7.3, Swan River Canada Day Fund donation request.
So just a bit of background, every year we receive from Swan River a request for funding related to Canada Day. Last year was for fireworks. I can't recall what the year before was. That was before my time. But council, as you're aware, last year we did not approve funding. And of course, annually on Canada Day, we do the breakfast that we host ourselves. A lot of donated labor and time from council members, the fire department, plus we cover all the costs of the supplies, with the exception, I think, local businesses do maybe some of that as well. So that's helpful there. So we do have our own activities that we do, and we've been doing those activities on Canada Day pretty much.
Yeah. Quick smile.
Then I'll read the resolution for that request. Resolution 249. Be it resolved that the town of Swan River Canada Day fund donation approval item be accepted as presented. Got a move in the secretary, then we'll call for the vote. Correct? Gary and Leanne? All in favor? Good night. Seven point four, utility overbilling revenue write-off.
So this item is a carry forward from when we had our billing utility errors due to the fact that our customer profiles, rather than having meter sizes indicating the profiles, they actually have pipe sizes, and we have adapters on those pipes, actually reduced them down to 5/8 meters, but in the actual customer profiles, they were indicating the original pipe size, which is basically like 1 inches, 1.5 inches, or along those lines. So based on this, we had done an adjustment as a temporary basis, basically recognizing the fact that the rates that were applied based on those profiles were for 1 or 2 rate classification levels higher than they should have been. And last month, we basically credited those accounts for that difference as far as billing due to those sizes. And the cumulative overbilling in the utility of Bowsman was $470.82. Cumulative overbilling in Minitonas was $4,463.85. So this resolution is to write off the revenue that was incorrectly recognized due to the actual meter size error. So we're writing off revenue that we should have recorded, but due to the fact that we had old data in the system, it was recorded, so we have to basically offset that. We've done it through credits in the accounts already. That was already done with bills that went out for this period, for last month's consumption period. But basically, we have to recognize the write-off in our general ledger.
Any questions?
No, I was just gonna ask about the credits to the individual customers, but Trevor stated that already, so that's all been dealt with, so.
We'll read the resolution then at 250. We resolve that the Bowsman and Minitonas Utility write off incorrect meter size based overbilling revenues of $470.82 and $4,463.85 respectively. Mover and seconder. Derek, seconded by Clint, all in favor? Carried.
Third.
Yeah.
Was there anything for Colin, or can he?
No, if
Just-
there are any more questions for the foreman, then,
Ready to go?
yeah.
Okay.
Thanks, Colin.
Thanks,
See you, Colin.
See ya.
Yeah.
Yeah.
7.5, bank account signing authority changes.
So this resolution is a response to the upcoming vacancy for the Chief Administrative Officer position. Currently, our signing authorities in all of our bank accounts is the Reeve and the Deputy Reeve. Reeve or Deputy Reeve and the Chief Administrative Officer. So what we're requesting through this resolution recommending is that the signing authority be changed to the Reeve and Deputy Reeve, and that the Chief Administrative Officer be removed. So basically, the accounts listed are the ones that are impacted. It's our operating account plus all of our reserve accounts plus the handicap account. So at this stage, this resolution, once completed, will be forwarded to Swan Valley Credit Union, where basically they'll be in the process, and then the Reeve and Deputy Reeve will have to go in to sign documents.
And are these all to do that?
Yeah, they're all right. We took it straight from our online banking world. Yeah,
Mhm.
correct.
Any questions?
Do we need a third option in case one of you guys is away?
I do plan on being away a little bit, but I'm not sure the exact dates. Were you having plans, Larry?
I think everything is on hold,
Okay,
so
like,
we'll have to be around for check signing. And whether we could have a third or not, it'd have to be,
We can put a third on, we just have to slow down to the resolution. That's amended.
Yes, because there could be an instance or whatever that's.
Yeah, and I wouldn't mind a third, even if a person is, well, what if you're not only away, but what if you're deathly sick and in the hospital somewhere? That would be even worse.
Yeah, we need some backup.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind another member of council to be on there myself. How do you feel?
Yeah, no,
Same there.
yeah.
Should be here.
Great.
Just put council, or just put?
The name has to go
No,
on
it
because
has
you
to
have
be,
to sign
has to be a
documents.
certain name.
So how about we put the reeve or deputy reeve and a third party, or do you want reeve or deputy reeve, or like basically two of the three, or something like that?
Well, I think it'll have to be or after each one because we don't know
Yeah.
who's going to.
Yeah. Right, reeve, deputy reeve, or counselor, because if you're not here, it would be deputy reeve and if you and I are here, it'd be reeve and deputy or deputy reeve.
Yeah.
Depending, yeah, or after.
So each one. So we could go the way we, like typically we have a reeve or deputy reeve.
Right.
And the chief administrative officer, and that's pretty much the standard. So basically, if you were to go that approach, you have another counselor stepping into that chief administrative officer type of second side role. The or, we just have to reword this then to say two of the three mentioned. And we just
That would cover it too,
Yeah,
yes.
so maybe more flexibility.
So with the idea of the office staff?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Is that legal to do one of the girls?
I would recommend our municipal clerk, basically would be a better one to go. Yeah, the benefit too is the fact that mental recovery experience that she brings forward, so definitely a better, more senior, more knowledgeable as far as experience. So how about we reword this to reeve or deputy reeve and the municipal clerk?
I'd be good with that. It's actually nicer to have one from administration too, rather than all council.
Yeah, because then
If
you've
at all
got,
possible.
Yeah.
Then you've always got one.
yeah. So it's basically the same thing with your CEO, but you've just, the municipal clerk has stepped
Yes.
into that role. Okay,
Right.
okay, I'll reword the resolution.
So we are on there already, so it'd be the simplest way to do it, to be add,
No, they won't.
remove and then add.
You have to go in and sign
You'll have
everything
to
new
go and
again.
sign all those cards again there.
Okay.
Where Trevor writes too much, we were lucky with Trevor because he doesn't ever take a day off, but is our municipal clerk maybe gonna take a few weeks off in July or anything?
Well,
Maybe we need to have ors instead of and,
I see what you mean.
Yeah.
just throwing it out there.
Okay. Or being the administrative person only works part-time too.
Just so our hands aren't tied.
Depending what day we're gonna need an actual check signed. And she may have, not even, you're really thinking you take your days off from whatever, eh?
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, like with the church, we had 3 and they were all or. It was the chairman,
So that-
or secretary, or the treasurer.
so that leaves any
Yeah,
combination
then,
open
yeah,
then,
as
right?
long as it's 2, it didn't matter
2 and
which
3.
2.
Yeah, maybe that would be better, that it would leave any combination open then, Trevor.
Okay, so you're wanting 2 out of 3?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go back in there 1 second. So then, reeve or deputy reeve or municipal clerk,
Yeah.
2 of the 3. Okay, give me 2 seconds to rewrite that.
We should deal with it.
didn't read, but there you go. Yep, I'll take that one, thanks.
I'll read resolution 251. Be it resolved that the signing authority for the following municipality bank accounts be changed to two of the following three effective July 7, 2025. Larry Malchuk Reeve, Gary Bartel, Deputy Reeve, Sherry Tall, Municipal Clerk. The bank accounts operating account number 110030271933. Reserve Fund Machinery and Equipment account number 110030443835. Columbarium Reserve account number 110030438391. Replacement and Repair Building account number 110030484009. General Reserve account number 110030438417. Minitonas Utility Reserve Fund account number 110030612037. Federal Gas Tax Reserve Fund account number 110030612052. Community Development Initiative Reserve Funds account number 110030612060. Emergency Services Reserve account 110030612078. Road and Sidewalk Reserve account number 110030612110. Rural Infrastructure Reserve Fund account 110030612177. Environmental Reserve Fund account 110030612185. Bowsman Utility Reserve Fund account 110030612193. RM and Town of Minitonas Handyman Association operating account 1001002157780. RM of Town of Minitonas Handyman Association replacement reserve account 2001002157780. Mover in a second. Ken, seconded by Gail. All in favor? Carried.
I was gonna ask you to repeat that.
Yeah, I will. I would pass it over to our deputy. Reed.
Yes, I think you'd have to, because that's a longer wait.
And move to administration.
Oh,
Oh, I'm sorry, the financial, monthly financial report.
The monthly financial report is pretty comprehensive. Are there any questions?
We have no time yet on that, on Trevor, like, we haven't, yeah, okay.
But as soon as we find out, before I depart, we will get a date set. We'll work with whatever MNP will get in the calendars.
Right.
And I'm confident that Janelle will be able to lead that process, so, yeah.
Bless you. Any other questions regarding the finance report?
Not for me, right?
Hearing none, I will read resolution 252. Be it resolved that the finance report, June 17, 2025, be accepted as presented. Mover and seconder. Gary, seconded by Leanne. All in favor? Carried.
Okay, we'll have to pause this one. That one has not been completed yet as far as the write-up. Give me just 2 moments to finish it.
Or on the variance order.
Yeah. Just new people starting in new roles.
Oh, okay. Running point one, yeah, okay.
They just retype on that one or get the retype done there.
everyone think that we're all set for our July 1st pancake breakfast?
Ian reached out to me the other day and he's gonna, he was questioning the amount of pancake mix we need, so he's gonna add to.
He is
Yeah.
going to.
Yeah, I gotta touch base and see, he went to pick up the 30 kilograms,
Okay.
but we need closer to 50. So if he did, then we're gonna have to get it local here, but I'll talk to him tomorrow. And I don't know, did you talk to Barry at the community store lately, Clint? Or even,
Did anybody order more, or, because I gave them the first list?
yeah, we never had to order more because we were thinking for a while the, what's the word I'm looking for?
Evacuees.
We're gonna have more here, but it looks like that's simmering off. Yeah. So I was just wondering if it is here, we could even get it over out of there to the office
I
then.
think he said some of it was here,
Okay.
if I remember correctly.
Yeah, and Gail got all the paper products already,
Yeah.
so that's all here and looked after them. And sausages are ordered from the meat packers. If we didn't have to add on to that, that should cover us. We'll be ready to go. I went for a small breakfast today, so I should go to the parking lot again.
Oh,
Had a preliminary taste of pancakes and sausages.
can't wait.
Huh?
I can't wait for
Well, it's real small grills they were cooking on. It was good though.
Mhm.
It was really good, yeah. Yeah, like household grills it looked like, yeah. But it was tasty.
And I'll look after getting the grills here.
Oh, well, I'll have to book a trailer, Larry.
Yes, we will.
Do you want me to look after that again?
If you want,
I can. You're busy enough.
yeah, you can.
My own trailer, I'll do that.
For the weekend, I guess.
Yep.
We'll have to,
Yeah, we'll have to get it because it's a Tuesday this year, isn't it?
yeah, Tuesday.
Yeah.
Get the, make sure propane tanks are full and then full when they go back.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll need it on Friday already. Because our event is Tuesday. Yeah. No, I'll take care of that tomorrow. I'll phone Filance trailer rental. Were you coming this year again there?
Yeah.
Okay, are you gonna bring cooker and propane?
Yeah, should be able to.
Okay, and that's me, and you bring yours? We'll
I'll
have three?
bring my cooker too, so that we'll have the three again and.
Right, we'll have 3 cookers, and I'll bring my own tank.
Make sure you guys have enough oil.
That's on the list already, and we
Okay,
beefed it
yes.
all up.
Yeah, because last year we had to run to the hotel.
Not happening this year, because Laura went through it. Yep. Not gonna go through last year's events again, are we, Larry?
No,
No. Yeah.
sore feet.
Yeah. So yeah, we got lots of everything. Better write Ian down just so I don't forget to phone him tomorrow.
I didn't think we wouldn't have anything to talk about while we were waiting for the paper.
Yeah, he got 30 kilograms of pancake mix. And we need around 50 for 1,000 pancakes. So we have around 400 people, 2 pancakes, that's 800, plus a little reserve. And some people want 3, which is fine, so we want to be sure. Oh, and you got water, right, Gail?
Mhm.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Has our campground seen any extra activity? More people using it?
I wouldn't say. There was one long-term guy in there with that gray truck, he's gone now. But then there's a fresh one in there now, I see maybe yesterday or today. It hasn't maybe even been as busy, but maybe it's a little early yet, I don't know. But no, it hasn't.
Nothing out of the normal.
No. I'm thinking, moderate numbers.
Has there been any complaints at all with coyotes coming into state town limits? Or is there anything? Back on course here with resolution 253.
Thank you.
Be it resolved that proposed subdivision of the house and yard site comprising approximately of 17.84 acres of the overall site area of 10 acres at the property southwest quarter of 20, 38, 26 west of the prime meridian be approved. And motion second by Gail, all in favor? Carried. Eight point two, Chief Administrative Officer job description.
So this resolution agenda item represents the modifications to the job description for the Chief Administrative Officer following the rescinding of the one employee policy, as well as revision of the organizational bylaw that was approved by council earlier this year. So just for council review, feedback and approval.
I was just wondering, like, I was looking for the, against the title here. Like, I went on the AMM website and I checked, there was, all CAOs, the 3 cities, Portage, Steinbach, and maybe Brandon had city managers. I'm wondering just if this title is maybe, I don't know, is it gonna attract people or is it gonna deter people? That's just what I wanted to bring up and get everybody's feedback. Is it positive or is it maybe gonna not attract people to us? I didn't know how to take that myself, you know. Maybe it's a really good thing, maybe it's something that people will not be interested in. What's the secretary treasurer job? And it might stop just not even reading the full document. Tell me if I'm thinking, or not thinking at all, I don't know.
I'm thinking with you that secretary treasurers are not generally supervisors, just in my head. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but
Yeah, that I wasn't really sure, so I just researched and then maybe it's something that would really attract people or maybe it'll deter them. Just my interpretation, my thoughts, potentials.
I don't personally understand why we don't just call it the CAO.
Does it have to do with just that one employee policy thing we rescinded? Is that the only difference between the 2 jobs?
Oh, you go ahead if you're
I'm
gonna.
just gonna say that there's nothing in the act that says the CAO has to supervise everybody. It specifically says unless otherwise, I'd have to dig out my phone, but
Directed by council or something.
yeah.
if the heading were changed to CEO, then would all of this have to be changed, the description?
The title's only referred once to at the very top, the rest
Yeah.
are responsibilities.
Yeah, the title was the only thing that I was just doubting myself, is it good or is it bad, I guess. Other than that, the duties and stuff, it's exact to what I think we're dealing with.
Yeah, per the organizational bylaw, it's
Mhm.
consistent with that, it is.
Right.
Put it with administrative officer.
You can put whatever title you guys
I
want.
know, I'm just thinking, like you said, secretary.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Might not get the attention.
So I'll just go around the table, I guess, and just ask that question that Gary proposed, that we change the title to CEO.
That's what I'm kind of leaning to, just for the fact that I found CAOs, and there was one exception, an LUD somewhere had a unique title, but everybody else was city manager, which was 3 of them, or CAOs, which was the rest of them minus the one from the LUD, and I didn't even note that one because it's kind of unique and one-off, so.
Leanne?
Yeah, I'd be willing to change it just to what that wording is, to be exact. I just, yeah.
Derek?
Yeah, I think we have to change it too, but yeah, a little bit there.
Good.
I've also found no reason why it couldn't be called CEO. I'm for even the CEO.
Gail?
Yeah, I'm for changing it.
Ken?
Me too.
Okay. We can,
As amended.
as amended,
Yep. I'll make that a revision.
I can just change it here, so
Yeah.
that's better than.
Exactly.
We'll read the resolution out, 254. Be it resolved that the chief administrative officer job description be accepted and approved as amended. Mover and seconder. Carried, seconded by. Too many at one time, at the same time.
It's okay, go ahead.
Okay, all in favor? Carried. Eight point three, support services and major project contract.
So this agenda item is for said contract for those services. During the contract term, council, through the read, the deputy agreed to communicate what support services and major projects to be provided based on the operation of the municipality and based on progress in the new chief administrative officer recruitment.
I'm happy with the changes I asked for. Were you still on the hours, Ken, a little bit, or not?
If it was my business, I wouldn't sign it. But, we're around the table, so I'm not gonna crucify you guys if you sign it. Yeah, it just for some reason that sticks in my craw.
Any other questions regarding the contract? I'll just go around the table. Gary, it was fine.
I was good with what I needed to, or asked to be changed.
Leanne?
Yeah, I'm good with it.
Derek?
Yeah, I think I'm good with it too now, yeah.
Clint?
Can you explain right of substitution, number 20? Last line mostly.
So I'll just read number 20, just so it's on the audio video record. Except as otherwise provided in this agreement, the contractor may, at the contractor's absolute discretion, engage a third-party subcontractor to perform some or all of the obligations of the contractor under this agreement, and the client will not hire or engage any third parties to assist with the provision of the services. So this is a boilerplate part of a contract whereby basically the contractor can subcontract if the need is there based on skill sets, based on time, basically utilize that person to assist under the same rates and provisions as a subcontractor to perform the duties. The cost of the municipality do not change. The cost of the subcontractor would basically be paid for by the contractor. If council wishes to remove that clause, it can, but it's basically a boilerplate clause. Every contract, well, almost every contract we've had has that in there, just because of unanticipated situations, and also unanticipated, you may find people with very strong skill sets that could basically add value to the project. But it's, again, this is not in concrete. We can take this out if you wish.
If you go down to no exclusivity now, can you explain that one?
The parties acknowledge that this agreement is non-exclusive and that either party will be free during and after the term to engage or contract with third parties for the provision of the services or like services. So at this stage, if you have projects that you decide that you want to assign these to other contractors, you can do that as well. So if you say this is a project we're working on, but basically we would not want this part of this project or another thing to be done by another contractor, it's not saying that because you gave me a project, I'm the only one who could work on it. You can have other people working on the same project, if council so wishes.
It seems to me in my mind they both contradict themselves. One saying you can't, the next one says you can.
So this was 24, and the other clause, what was the clause number again?
20.
20, okay. So in the right of substitution, if it's work where basically someone is assisting the contractor in this, the contractor has the right to select who that subcontractor would be. But as far as the exclusivity, if you've got a contract where basically you want to say half this contract is for this person, or half this project is for this person, and half the project is for another person, you can say contractor, your responsibility is to complete half A, and another person can then complete half B. So it's different in that basically if there's someone assisting the contractor completing their assigned part of a project, they can go and pursue a subcontractor to assist. Exclusivity says that basically council can have a project and have more than one contractor working on it. So you just delegate who does what parts.
And it's not exclusive.
Yeah, it's not like if you say work on project, whatever it is, that whole project is now, you can't have anybody else assist. Typically for a larger project, that could be the case. Again, we could take these out if you wish.
Gail, have any questions?
No, it was good.
Want to read the resolution then and let everyone vote on it, or?
Did we want to do revisions before the resolution, or?
Can I just ask one more question? Being this is legal, legal document, and we have a lawyer on retainer, why did we not get a lawyer to go through it quickly and just make sure everything is correct?
wish, yeah.
Stuff's definitely over my head.
So we will table this then? If we get it, then it won't come up until 2 weeks,
Next meeting, right?
next week.
It'd come up on the second, correct?
Do we realistically, will the lawyer look at it and we'll be able to vote on our next meeting? Is that a reasonable expectation, do you think?
There's no guarantee that
Yeah.
that timeframe will be.
I guess there's nothing to stop us from voting even if he hasn't had a chance. We could ask and try.
Or you could take those clauses out totally, and then use the ones that raise questions, and just remove clause 20, remove clause 21, or remove clause 24.
I would just rather have a lawyer check it, because I have a few other questions. Being that I'm not a lawyer.
I guess we do have a lawyer on retainer, do we? I believe
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Yeah, too.
Yeah, we do. It's just that, are we going to meet a timeframe?
No,
Or we're not going to meet that?
I'm not sure if they will have time to read this either. If we're just gonna ask them to, drop everything and do this for us. I don't know, like, I don't know if they're even gonna look at it in 2 weeks. You know, I don't know what their timeframe is
no.
either.
I guess the only thing, yeah, like it's either try that or if we're not comfortable, remove the pieces. Was there other areas maybe too, Clint, that just, or did you just want a yes, it looks good for the municipality thing? Because I would kind of, because I'm no lawyer either, I kind of went through it and I thought, well, with the changes I want, I think we're covered good, but if there's some questions I need.
I think too, but I don't know.
Yeah.
If I don't know something 100%, I can think it, but
Right.
do I know it?
Yeah.
We haven't tried a lawyer, we still have time, correct? Like, we still have 2 weeks to get this.
So we have 2
approved.
weeks between meetings, correct, yeah.
So there's no, it does not have to be done today, because we still have. So I would feel comfortable, contact the lawyer if they don't have time or whatever.
Then we'll have to call a special meeting to address this again then?
Or just our next council meeting, because we've got one more with Trevor still.
Yeah, we have one more, yeah. Yeah, like, yeah, I don't know what their schedule's like. The only way, I guess, is to try and, we got this to look at and see if they say, well, we can or we can't. Because how do we know how busy they are?
With, show it to the lawyer, and the lawyer says yes, then you'll be happy with that decision?
I'd be comfortable with it, sure. Then I could say yes, because I would know. That's my thoughts. If everybody else chooses not to, you guys can vote however you want today.
Well, I think we want everybody comfortable on this. This is a pretty, important thing moving forward, like, not my feelings,
So this resolution then will have to be tabled till.
Yes.
I guess I'll just ask the question, then we'll go around the table and ask if you want to go through the lawyer, look at it first, or vote on it as is.
Well, I want everybody, like, there's, as much as I know about a contract, I'm thinking it's good, but we want everybody comfortable, so it wouldn't hurt maybe to have a lawyer look at it.
Yeah,
I was fine with it, but whatever the rest feels.
Derek?
Yeah, I think if we can get it done quickly, and if not, we can still vote, and then I think still get it done even if they don't have time, right? And then maybe we'll be more comfortable with it, everybody.
Okay, so now I read the resolution, and resolution 255, be it resolved that the support service is a major projects contract dated June 18, 2025, be tabled. 8.4, monthly administration report.
The monthly administration report is comprehensive. Does council have any questions?
Are there any comments, questions, concerns? Hearing none, I'll read Resolution 256. Be it resolved that the administration report June 17, 2025 be accepted as presented. Mover and seconder. Gary, seconded by. Leanne, all in favor? Carried. Bylaws and policies, 9.1, sick leave policy.
So this policy is the carry forward for the last meeting. We had a versioning error on the PDF agenda item submission. What this policy probably does is beefs up the actual content from the employee handbook, which is also included as an attachment. It also enables us to streamline and increase the efficiency of our accrual calculations. Basically, the area that the calculation currently says 1.5 sick leave days per month, and we will be doing it to 18 sick days per year, which enable a fixed calculation percentage to be used all through the year, so there's less variation in employee paychecks and entitlement reports. Basically, when we move from months that have 2 payroll periods to 3 payroll periods, then back to 2 payroll periods. But there was additional just beefing up and including improvements on that policy. And this is part of our ongoing project whereby we look at the handbook, which had been developed quite a while ago, and basically modernize and update to reflect our current payroll benefit operations.
It's 90 days, it maxes out at least.
Yeah, that's correct. Which is required to bridge you from the sick leave to your long-term disability from our serious injuries. And that was in the existing policy as well.
Right, yeah, I was never sure if it was 100 or 90, so it's fine. Looks good.
Any other questions regarding the policy? Hearing none, I'll read the resolution 257. We resolve that policy 2025-3 sick leave policy be approved as presented. Mover and seconded. Kent, seconded by. Barrett, all in favor? Carried. That does everything for bylaws and policies. Are there any announcements?
Didn't have any meetings, but got to go to the water festival up at the interpretive center tomorrow. The grade 4 class is coming up there for their field trip.
Most of us will be
So there you know, up there.
Watershed. Leanne?
No meetings either, nothing for me.
Okay. Gail?
Just a COPP meeting, but there was nothing out of the ordinary with that.
Well,
Yeah.
pretty quiet.
Trevor?
Nope.
Myself? No, nothing really more.
Quiet all around the table.
Right, then we'll move to the in-cameras. Number 11. Resolution 258, be it resolved that pursuant to section 1523 of the Municipal Act, despite subsections 1 and 2, council shall meet as a committee of the whole to close the meeting and continue discussion in camera regarding employee, land, legal, and matter that is in its preliminary stages and respecting which discussion in public would prejudice Municipality of Minitonas-Bowsman's ability to carry out its activities or negotiations. Pursuant to Section 83(1)D, council members shall keep in confidence a matter discussed at a meeting closed to the public under Section 1523 until the matter is discussed at a meeting conducted in public. Pursuant to Section 94(1)H, a council member becomes disqualified for breaching the requirement of confidentiality under Clause 83(1)D, and the time being 7:44. Mover and a seconder. Gail, seconded by Gary. All in favor? Carried. Resolution 259, be it resolved that pursuant to Section 1524 of the Municipal Act, this meeting shall be reopened to the public time. 9. Mover and seconder. Gary and Derek, all in favor? Carried. Resolution to adjourn. 260, be it resolved that this regular meeting of council be adjourned at 9 o'clock. Mover and seconder, Dan and Gail, all in favor? Carried.